guys, what are we gonna do today? Today we're gonna make these fun crowns using some new metal trim I just got in. Let's get started.
So to make this really fun, simple crown, I'm gonna be using this trim. This is about 2.5 inches. You could use a real thin trim, whatever you would like. This is 16 inches that I cut. Just trim a couple of these loose edges off. And if you want a really large crown, just use a bigger piece. You don't have to completely overlap, but I find that it looks very nice when it's completely overlapped over the other piece. So I'm gonna round this off a little bit so it doesn't look so sharp and stark. So what I'm doing is overlapping the pattern at the top. I'm just using this really thin wire. You could use a heavy cord, you could use wire, you could use a heavy thread, you could use whatever you would like. What I'm gonna do is I am going through these openings and I'm gonna twist. I'm twisting my wire together to hold this together. In the inside, start twisting. I'm gonna get these flat edge pliers and twist to make it nice and tight. So I'm gonna do this again in this location where I'm just going from the back to the front to the back. And I'm trying to find smaller gaps, not way up here so you see a huge piece of wire. So this is another smaller gap at the bottom. And I'll grab those from the back and twist them also. So I'm attaching closer to the top and closer to the bottom. So, and this is flipping up a little, so I think I'm gonna put one more little piece of wire right here. I just want this to lay flush together. When it's painted and done, you're not even gonna notice the wire, and it keeps it a bit more stable. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is trim some of these ends. I'm leaving a very, very short tail. Probably, I'm guessing it's 1/4 inch, and I'm gonna press those down. So now I'm just going to take my flat pliers and just flatten those pieces down. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to paint this. I'm going to paint this in crinoline, which is an off-white, my DIY paint. And I'm going to be painting the inside and the outside. You could leave it just silver. You could add a gold or silver or copper wax to it. This is just what I'm gonna do. I think this is just kind of a fun look. And I am just gonna paint right over the wire and you're never gonna notice it. I'm just gonna paint the outside, the inside. We're gonna let it dry, and if I need a second coat, I will put that on. So the white paint is dry, so I'm just gonna put a sealer on this. You can use your favorite sealer. I'm using Minwax Polyacrylic Crystal Clear. And I'm just gonna seal over all of this white paint, the inside and the outside, and then I am going to let this dry. So I'm gonna let this dry. So the poly is dry on this, so now I am gonna coat this with black paint. I'm using my DIY, and this is Black Velvet. And I really like using the DIY paint for this because it rubs back so nicely and it'll fill in to these intricate areas, and it just looks cool. I'm just gonna let this dry and then we're gonna wipe it back. So this is dry. I'm taking my baby wipe and I am gonna wipe back some of this black. And what you're gonna do is wipe back until you get the look that you're wanting. I'm gonna do this to the inside and the outside of this crown. So I wipe this back and I'm just gonna put one more coat of a sealer on. And I think I'm gonna use a fun gold wax over this after I've sealed it and this dries. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry and then we're gonna put our wax on. So this is the look I have right here with just the black and the white on here and it's sealed. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of gold wax to this and we're gonna get a different look. So you can decide if you want gold, silver, black, white. Heck, you could even make a pink crown. I'm using my DIY golden rule, and this is a gold wax. And I'm really hitting the high points with this. If you painted it pink and added the gold, maybe like a rose gold, how pretty that would be. Okay, what do you think?
So I hope you guys thought this was really fun and really, really easy. Whether you just attach ends and do nothing else, you have an instant crown. Or depending on the colors you use, you could make it bright and flashy, you can make it old and vintage. There's 100 things you can do with this. Whatever you do, have fun.